So my video is entitled that pop culture has a lot of influence on young minds. I believe it does because when we were younger, when people of my age group were younger, music was a big influence, and I believe it always will be. And a lot of people love to listen to some good music. Yeah, I guess I'm a little more mature in terms of music and what I like. So that might be why I don't listen to some of the new stuff, a lot of the new stuff. I like to go back in time and listen to a lot of old school music. And then there are some new artists that I will, however, I find influencing on some levels, maybe something different about them that might strike me as, say like I might be interested in something about a particular genre of music, maybe because, there's a role switch or of who that person is. You have popular female rap artists who is really, really thriving um, versus just listening to only males. But that's the reason why I'm redoing this because I had the earlier I was trying to do this video and I don't think it came out the way I wanted it. There was a lot of interruptions, but anyway, this is gonna sound funny, but I remember when Kid and Play was a big deal. So some people are like, "Whoa, that was way back in the days." Some people are like, "What is that?" So that's how you know I'm much older. But anyway, um, so I, as a young person, we used to go out and go to clubs and listen to music, and a lot of stuff has changed now. It used to be really fun. I believe it's fun for the young people now because they listen to what they like, but it can influence in positive ways, but it also can influence in negative ways. Some people can't separate reality from fantasy, and that's when it can go wrong. That um, probably at fault, but they have somewhat of a responsibility as well to what they say to young people, young minds, how they influence people. So that's why I believe a lot of people took a lot of offense to what Kanye West said. And some people took it one way and other people took it another way. And so it can influence in positive or negative ways. At least I could say this from that. It got a lot of people talking, but I think Donald Glover's video, he got a lot of people talking recently. A lot of people talking. So popular culture or pop culture is generally recognized as a set of practices and beliefs and objects that are dominant or ubiquitous and ubiquitous in the society at a given point in time. So popular culture also encompasses the activities and feelings produced as a result of interaction with the dominant objects. So a lot of people, are influenced by a lot of different artists, music artists. And so sometimes, well, right now, the big influence could be rappers, popular rappers. Some rappers have different types of music that they put out. Now, these rappers are known for like more like the gangster style rap. And some people probably can relate because maybe they knew people they grew up with who were affiliated with these, you know, this type of culture, the gang culture. Not saying anything to glorify it. I'm just making reference on it. And then there's a lot of people who are influenced by these type of people. And yes, Kanye West is here. So you have Eminem, Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, Drake, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Tupac. Even to this day, people still will listen to Tupac. They really love his music. Biggie Smalls, the Notorious B.I.G., better known as, they say. And then you have other rappers that we see now, like Chance the Rapper, Dr. Dre. I don't really hear too much of him. He was more at like my time. Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and Dougie Fresh. I was even goes further back, like when they first started rapping. I remember Grandmaster Flash, and I remember a lot of old school rappers, Sweet Tea, people you wouldn't think. I remember from like way back in the days, MC Light, MC Breed. So we have Future, Nas, J. Cole, 21 Savage, Snoop Dogg, Big Sean, Post Malone. It goes on and on. Some photos didn't come out. Excuse the airplanes. But anyway, pop music, rap, song artists are big influencers for young people. The same as it was when we were growing up, it's the same thing. So it's not that much different. So modern popular culture transmitted by way of mass media is aimed at particularly the younger population or younger groups of people. And so what you say and do as an artist or an entertainer influences people, and it can influence and change lives. It can shape people's lives as well, their mindset. Some people are influenced in positive ways. Some people are influenced and motivated in negative ways. Sometimes people want to act out their life like it's a video. And so I've seen some of these videos on YouTube and some of the hateful things that are put out here. And it's not just men doing it. I've seen women doing hateful videos about how they hate other Black people and how, women, they go against other women too. They'll say, oh, women got bigger egos than males. And a lot of those women, when you hear those women talk, they like having sex with a lot of guys. And they don't want to lose that relationship with men. So they'll say all the negative things about females because their premise is I don't want to lose that D-I, you know what. They don't want to lose the sex thing. So that's probably why we have all these issues with the STDs, because some people, their whole thought process is having sex. They're young. They don't see a future ahead. They just see right now. And I'm just being honest. There are some women that are out there. They are, there are some that are, their whole thing is about sex. They could just be just as, predatorial as males in that sense, and I know I was young once, and I'm not saying that I thought like that. I didn't. I never was one of those type of females that was my main goal, I guess that's maybe why I'm really different, because maybe that's why people can't believe she said she wanted to be by herself. Because see, a lot of these females don't like it when they hear a female that's saying that she would rather be by herself. They can't understand. Some can't understand it because they just gotta have sex with people. They don't know how to not be by themselves and have a breather and live life and try to better yourself. All their thing is trying to get somebody to take care of them and lay up with them and being up under somebody all the time. And I'm just not that kind of person. Some people like that. I'm not like that. I don't want to do that. So that's why I said, if I'm ever involved with someone at any point in my life, it's got to be a real serious deal. It's the real thing, because it's not phony. It's not jumping from one bed to the next bed to the next bed to the next bed. And that's what unfortunately is going on. That's why I did the previous videos about the skyrocketing of STDs and STIs. And now we have this epidemic of HIV that is so prevalent now because people don't care no more. Their whole thing is being laid up with somebody in these hookup and chat lines and stuff like that. And then it turns into a reality and they think, oh, I found Mr. and Mrs. Right or Mrs. one night stand, you know, and some of this is, people get a little tipsy or whatever, and they start doing this stuff with each other, and then they wind up with these diseases. Some people, maybe that's not what their whole intention was. They just wanted to have fun. They're young. I understand. But that's not everybody. Some people, that's just, they don't have anything else going for themselves. So that's the only thing they look for, unfortunately. But pop culture does have a lot of influence. A lot of this stuff comes through music too. So I remember there was a time when the music was talking about getting together and loving and respecting one another. And you don't hear a lot of that music that much anymore. That's not as popular as hearing the music about people killing each other and hurting each other and talking down about women and talking, about killing and stealing and robbing banks and whatever, coming up on money. A lot of that comes from people who don't have money or they started off, they never had any money. And so they have these, wild dreams or fantasies of somehow coming into some money, even if they have to commit crimes, they don't get caught. That doesn't, those are fantasies, crazy, wild fantasies. And so some people try to act that out in reality. They see a rap video and they say, oh, I'm going to do that for real. So there's the young people who really try to act that stuff out in reality. The fancy cars, the women, and all that kind of stuff. And then the women, I'm going to give me a man who's a drug dealer and all this kind of stuff. So, it's some people like that. So to each his own. I just know I'm not that kind of individual. But what I'm saying is I'm not trying to put anybody particularly down. I just think people need to be careful about what they get themselves into. And they need to be aware of what's going on out there. That's the reason why I did the other videos, because I think people have kind of lost sight of what reality is. And they can't separate the fantasy from reality. It's not the fault necessarily of the artist. You have to, as an adult or a young adult, you have to hold yourself accountable as well for your actions. And so you have to really realize that, these artists are human. They make mistakes. They're not perfect. They have problems in their lives, and you have to realize that they may not always say the right things at the right time. And the influence may be very negative, and it may be at the expense of a lot of people in their future. And so they themselves have to hold themselves accountable for their portion of that, misleading people. But, usually, like I said, the popular artists, I tried to go through here. So I'm just kind of thumbing through. So it's Kanye West, Eminem, and all the other people. Some people are really diehard fans of individuals. There's some new rappers, new individuals out, women, female rappers, just showing the faces, people like Chris Brown. Some of the names, I don't even know how to say them now. I remember Ice Cube, I don't think I've heard 2 Chainz. I've heard the name, but I haven't heard. So there's a lot of some by face, some people will know who these people are, So I just don't, but there are a lot of influences. And so you have to be careful. These are people, they're human. DMX, of course, we heard about some things he's involved with I guess he went to prison, I think the federal prison for tax issues or whatever. But some of these rappers actually have their own set of issues in real life. And so we see that sometimes, especially TMZ, they let everybody know. Some of the faces didn't come out. Nas, J. Cole, 21 Savage, Snoop Dogg, Big Sean, Post Malone, Lil Uzi. I don't know who that is. Some of the young people say, I know who that is. But anyway, yeah, so like I said, some people make decisions and it could cost them. It could cost them their lives. So you just got to choose wisely, make good decisions in your life. And don't use just these people, the negative things and think that is a reality. They might be talking about some real life situations, but they may not necessarily really, really mean for you to go out and do these things, what you see in the videos. They might be talking about something they've seen in their neighborhood or something they might have experienced or done themselves. That doesn't mean you go out and do it. But, unfortunately, you're going to have some people that are going to be daring. But anyway, I remember my mom's era was like Motown. That's going way back. So a lot of the songs and a lot of the stuff that was out back then in the Motown era is, a lot about doo-wop and, getting together, love music. And, I think it was more respectful. Um, Motown, um, Motown artists, I think they might have been a little more, these are artists that I even still to this day will listen to. So that's why I say, I guess I'm kind of, I have an old soul too. I'm sort of, like all these artists that like the Four Tops, Smokey Robinson, um, Lionel Richie, the Commodores, some of the R&B groups back, we had a lot of R&B groups when I was growing up too in my time, there, um, these artists like this, I'll still listen to artists that, are in the Motown era. So even my kids, they're like, oh, you listen to that, but they like the music. They've heard it. My mom used to play a lot of James Brown, a lot of Motown artists like Temptations, Stevie Wonder, Diana Ross, The Supremes, the Jacksons, Smokey Robinson, stuff like that. So I'm used to listening to a lot of that kind of music. That's more a lot of things I like to listen to. But anyway, the thing is that it's sad because I noticed that even within those songs, the music back then, they had a lot of things about love and respecting and coupling and things like that. Some of the music now is just so angry. There's a lot of anger in it, and I believe that's a reflection on how the young people are going to be shaped. And so that's the reason why you have women, Black women that are hurting Black women. They're saying, oh, women, they have more egos than males. That's not true. That's not true. I think it depends on individuals. There are individuals that have egos, and there are certain males that will just spew out all that testosterone to the point to where they just put it on people to where it's way over the top. And then there's some females that are just way over the top. So it depends on the individuals. It's not no one group. So whoever's saying that, that's their opinion. I don't feel that's true though. I feel like it has to do with anybody can have, a lot of ego. Anybody, depending on, what the circumstance is. There might be a motivator for it. Maybe they have to have a lot of ego, at certain times they feel they have to have a lot of ego. So, and then maybe they have too much ego. So it depends. I think everybody's different, so I don't know. I don't think I have an ego. I have my own individuality. But I don't have an ego, no. Like that, I have dignity about myself. And so I might upset women because I said I wouldn't sleep with anybody because they might find that as a weakness that they sleep with a lot of people. They can't just not sleep with people. And so with me, I can not sleep with people. I can just not do it and be successful at not doing it because not just looking at the stats of the diseases that are out there, but just the motives of people, just listening to the way they talk, some of the hateful stuff. I mean, who would want to hook up with people like that? I don't care how many hookup, they can have a million hookup lines out there. Hookup chat lines, chat groups, apps, all that. I don't want to be a part of none of that. It's crazy. It's too risky. It's too crazy. It's too much craziness. And so I guess I'm an old school kind of individual. So I don't want to be bothered. I'm back in the time where you actually meet the person the person the person you're working with, person you actually meet. You meet them. You're not behind no screen or nothing like that. You know who you getting involved with. And if it's bad, it's bad. You know what to do. If it's good, it's good. And y'all good for however many years until ongoing, whatever. But this, all this hookup, this, all this, I guess I'm not into that. I'm not into. I don't like it. To be honest, I don't like this hookup. Let me hook up this app and all this. Let's find out because people lie on those things. They don't show the real pictures of them. You don't ever get to see them, and if you get to see them, you might get disappointed. You know, I don't like that kind of stuff. I want to whoever I see, and we see each other before. We're not gonna be on the online chat, all this kind of stuff, unless we already know each other. You know, that's different. And I still don't like that stuff. Really, I don't. I don't know. I guess I just don't play. I'm just be real with you. I'm an old school kind of person, and I don't play. I don't play games, so I'm not into that. Um, so if you're offended because I'm not into playing games, then this not the channel for you. I'm just telling you right now. I'm just not a like crazy like that. And some of these people are, you know, some of them like that kind of stuff, playing these little cat and mouse games online and stuff. I don't think it's cool. It's dangerous too, because you don't know who you're messing with. But anyway, the influences in pop culture, they have a lot to do with shaping who people are going to be and what they're going to be, how they're going to exhibit attitudes towards people's as well. You got music talking about, you know, respecting one another and love, and then what do you think is going to happen? Everybody knows this music. They're feeling it, and they're going to act it out. You got music talking about slap up your hoe, slap up your bitch, and all that. And now, how you think the man going to treat you? Just like what they hear on the music. So that's the reason why I'm not cool with none of this stuff. I'm just being real. Somebody is not talking. There's some people not talking about this because it's not just the young people. They'll grow up. No, no. It seems like it gets worse and worse. Anytime we got songs like Poop the Scoop the Whoop and all this kind of stuff. I'm sorry. Maybe this is the part where I'm getting old, but I just don't. I can't get with that. I mean, I like it when their songs have substance, you know, some kind of validity to it. Come on now. I can get with some of the news artists, you know, but at least they are saying something and you can hear them saying, you know, some actual words, more than 4 and 5 words are in the lyrics of their song. And there's a plot, there's a, you know, it's telling a story or something, or you know, you hearing what they're saying, you know. But this, all this other stuff, I'm sorry, I just can't. I just can't. I don't know. So I guess that's why when I'm on YouTube, sometimes I hunt for old music. And if I do hear new music, and if it's creative enough, I'll listen to it. You know, I might listen to, you know, some new artists. But, you know, it's just some stuff I'm just, you know, I don't know. I'm not with it. I guess I'm not with it. So I'm not afraid to say that. That's my brave moment too. I'm not with some of these things that are happening. So, you know, just, you know, I don't like the idea of people just this free for all, free love, let's sleep around. I don't like that kind of stuff. I just think it's just not safe. It's just not safe. Common sense. It's just not safe. I feel like people should wait to get involved with the right individuals. I feel like people should wait because it's more safer and it keeps you from getting your heart broken. Not only getting your heart broken, you know, having regrets, getting involved with the wrong individual. You know, you know, trying to be as safe as possible. I know you know, some people feel, well, I don't want to wait forever, but you know, sometimes when you rush into something, you might regret rushing into that something. You know, that that individual or whatever you run into. But I feel like music kind of people will act out what the times are, what they hear in the music. And I think when people were listening to like, you know, the Temptations and Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder and Diana Ross and all of these art, like, you know, Smokey Robinson, people are respectful. They want to love each other. They're conscious because they know the world is changing. They know there's pollution, you know, and you know things are happening. They're aware of the racism, but they still want to stick together. They're not bashing their race. and bashing other women. And, they're trying to do things, they're trying to be active in their communities. Now you got people, they don't give a damn. Screw you, screw him, whatever. Oh, we'll have sex without protection raw and we'll catch diseases. You don't die of some, it is what it is type attitude. That's what's happening now. And I'm just not with that. I'm just being honest. It just seems like it gets worse as the years go by. People have lost respect for one another. And I believe that's the reason why we have so much killing. We have people that are even women of my age, you can't be friends with nobody. They don't like you saying something. If it isn't what they believe in, they're mad at you. And so they want to fight you or they want to argue with you online. They want to call you out of your name. And so they don't have no respect for other women of color. So they feel like they got to be, divisive and deceitful. I mean, I've heard some other women that are probably around my age, or older than me, and some advice some things they say I can agree with, and some other things might be a little over the top for me. But I try not to be blatantly disrespectful. I just think some of it kind of might be a little bit crazy. Some of it. Now, I'm not saying all of it. Some of it might be justified. Maybe they might have their own fears, which I wouldn't blame them because there's so much stuff going on. And I wouldn't doubt some of the things that they're voicing concern over. I do believe there is a lot of pollution. There is a lot of corruption. There's a lot of things that we probably don't even, as general citizens of America, we probably don't even know about. We're not aware about. People are suspicious about things that are being held from us. I do believe there could be some things going on that are even bigger in the future that we can't foresee now that might shape how America turns out. I seen something one time where it was talking about how, other places, other countries, other, other large countries who were really big and powerful fell, because they got too big and it got out of control and they were conquered and they fell. And, how long is this going to last? And the way things are going, all these changes all these laws being put out, all these changes that are rapidly being uh, put into place. Is it going to be good or is it going to make things worse? Is it going to eventually create the collapse of America? Because people are falling apart at the seams. Hollywood, you're hearing all the stuff in Hollywood, the way the music has evolved to where you have to actually go back online and pick all this old music so that you can hear that wholesome music where people used to actually appreciate one another. And then the new artists, you have to pick, okay, I like that song because it's hip. But the rest of it, I can throw it out because it's too crazy, whatever. I just can't, it just doesn't fall in line with my, thought process or whatever. It's not to my liking or whatever. And it's not to say anything bad. I guess it's just a different generation. It's a new world we living in and just seems to be evolving so rapidly. And so I think some of it was good. And then I think a lot of more of it is negative. And so if you're a music artist, you have a lot of influence, a lot of power. And you got to be wise on how you use it. That's all I'm saying. And so, if you just look at these artists here, some people know what happened at the end of these artists' lives. Some of these artists are still alive and some of them aren't. Some of them are and some of them aren't, like Michael Jackson. He's not alive anymore. We know some stories about what happened. There's Berry Gordy. Stevie Wonder's still alive. Diana Ross is still alive. Some of the Jacksons family, most of them are still around, except Michael. Um, Even Janet is still around, but Marvin Gaye is not here. If anybody knows his story and his background, you heard about what happened to him, which was very tragic. And so you got to be careful. You know, Smart Smokey Robinson, I believe he is still around. But the thing is that you got to be careful of what mark you put out in the world when you're famous, because it's going to stay with you. And if it's positive and it's doing a lot of good things, then that's what people are going to remember. But if it's negative, you best believe your face is going to be by that negative, and they're going to remember that. So it has a lot to do with the influence of young people. And as they grow older, they'll look back on it and they'll say, that artist was a good artist, or that artist was, I thought he was good, but he really wasn't. He influenced us in a bad way. So that's going to come out too. So people need to think about what they're doing. And all these young people that got these videos trying to hurt each other, talking about killing one another and killing and hurting somebody, or other women bashing other women. "Oh, I think women got bigger egos than males," and all that, stuff like that. They don't like other women, and they're a woman themselves. They like it when men are popping them upside the head and calling them thoughts. I learned that from the young people. I didn't know what the hell that little term meant. The thought. What the hell is a thought? I said, "Is that what you thinking?" No, that's something negative. It's like calling somebody something negative. In the urban, have to look in the urban dictionary to find what some of these new terms are. Because I guess I'm old school. But I'm like, these little people that are doing this stuff, you're tearing each other apart. You're not helping your cause by doing this. You're not helping you. You're not helping other young people that are going to come after you. You are destroying people like you. You're not bringing about anything positive when you post, "I hate all single black females," or "Black females destroyed the black community." Titles like that. Or you know and one guy, he talked, I actually went back into his videos, and he talked about how he had some really bad interactions with his mother. So all his videos, I paid attention, and he had followers, lots of followers, and some of them were women, black women. And who does he bash? Black females. And some like, "Yeah, that's funny." Ha ha ha. They laughing at it like it's funny. But he's talking about you, how he doesn't like you, how he hates you. They think it's funny. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. And when white people see those videos, they don't look at it as funny. They look at it as, "Oh, that's why they're leaving them. Oh, that must be real." And you being dumb, sitting up there laughing at him, thinking he's joking. This dude is serious. He had bad experiences in his childhood, and I think he might, and I'm not saying this to bash gay people, but I think the reason why he's angry at black women is because he doesn't want to be with women, and he's had negative experience with a black woman in his life, which was his mother, because she couldn't accept him being gay. And so from that point on, all his videos are about bashing females. And anybody that bashes women to that extent, he doesn't like women. And there's a reason. It's not because just mom and because she's black. It's because that man, he is gay and he can't be gay. And he has a struggle with his own sexuality. And he knows that the black community is hard on black gays. And he's black himself. So that's why all his videos are like that. I'm not going to say his name. He's popular too. And it's black women who listen to him. He's saying all this horrible stuff to black women. He has some videos where he's cussing black women out, threatening them. I think he had a mugshot, and then they had a petition going around on YouTube trying to get him off of there. because he was really bad. And he has a million channels. So when he closed one down, he got a whole bunch of them that he goes under and goes on there again and starts that shit up again, you know. So it's just sad what we've come to reduce ourselves to. And now we got people saying things that look like us against us, and they got their own little issues. And so this is really sad. It's really depressing and sad. But a lot of this too comes from, like what I said, the guy having his own set of experience, but a lot of this comes from out of the music, I believe. It's pop culture. And so this new music, when you have, you know, artists and they're talking about killing one another, or you have artists that are talking about how they're going to destroy, you know, each other, or how they're separating, or how they don't like whatever, then that shapes how people think about one another. And if you don't believe me, uh, you can sit there and not believe me, but I believe that that's the reason why. Also, we have so much destruction within ourselves because of what kinds of things we receive and how we receive it and how we view other people after we receive those negative messages. And so um, I'm just going to leave it at that. But pop culture, again, I'm going to say this as I end this video. Modern popular culture that is transmitted by way of mass media is aimed at particularly the younger generations, the younger groups of people. And so a lot of people have watched TMZ, even at my age, I watched TMZ because it's so popular. You know, a lot of people like to watch popular shows and hear popular music, and then they decide for themselves whether they can accept it or say, I'm not with that. You know, I don't like that one. I'd rather choose this artist over another artist. And so, anyway, with that being said, I don't know. It's just, I feel really like people are not really being fully aware of what's going on. Not only the music is influencing, it's also these YouTubers that put out these messages. They want to influence people. And sometimes the influences aren't necessarily that good, but sometimes it's to bring awareness, it's to let you know what kinds of things are going on in their neighborhood or maybe in their city. You know, I've mentioned a lot of things. A lot of my stuff is political or it's about social issues or stuff that I'm actually witnessed or seen myself or I know of or things that are happening like right in real time, you know. Um, but anyway, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and have a good evening. Thanks for listening. You always got to be wise in what you say and do, especially in this time, because everybody takes everything personal. Thank you.